Hey, Nicole, give me your mom. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom, everybody on the live feed. We want to welcome you to Ehkadmalkutministries SHABBAT teachings, brought to you by NASI, MIKA'EL, along with Sar, Chief Badiah, from the house of Badiah. We want to welcome everybody, and we want to give honors, first and foremost, to the Most High, His only begotten Son, Yahushua. We give honors to all the elders who are governing and protecting the people with sincerity and truth, and being a good co-shepherd to our chief shepherd, Yahushua. We want to give honors and many blessings to the dear children of Israel scattered across the full corner of the earth, to all the camps, assemblies, and congregations and families of the earth that are truly serving the Creator in peace and in harmony. Hallelujah. So we want to open up. Started out with prayer. All praise to the Most High, prayer and praise. And then we'll get right into the lesson. Let's all rise. Hallelujah. We will open up with the blessing of Aharon over the family and the house of Badiah. And may this also reach the families of the earth that come from the straight lineage of Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Ya barika ya Ehkadmalkunika Yahweh Famine Echad Shalom Shalom Yabarika Yahweh Veishmerika Yahweh Ponia Ehkadmalkutika Yahweh Famine Echad Shalom Shalom. Amen. May the Most High bless you. May He keep you. He will bless you and He will keep you. And may His grace shine upon you. Hallelujah.
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 Echad.
Echad.
Repeat after me. This is Tehillim, chapter 149, verse 1. Praise ye, O Elohim.
Praise ye, O Elohim.
Sing unto Elohim a new song.
Sing unto Elohim a new song.
And His praise in the congregation of the saints.
And His praise in the congregation of the saints.
Let Israel rejoice in Him.
Let Israel rejoice in Him.
That made Him.
That made Him.
Let the children of Zion be joyful.
Let the children of Zion be joyful.
In their King.
In their King.
Let them praise His name.
Let them praise His name.
In the dance.
In the dance.
Let them sing praises.
Let them sing praises.
Unto Him with the trembling heart.
Unto Him with a trembling heart.
For Adonai.
For Adonai.
Taking pleasure in His people.
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 He will beautify the meek.
He will beautify the meek
with salvation.
With salvation.
Let the saints.
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 Be joyful.
Be joyful.
In His glory.
In His glory.
Let them sing aloud.
Let them sing aloud.
Upon their bed.
Upon their bed.
Let the high praises.
Let the high praises
of Elohim.
Of Elohim.
Be in their mouth.
Be in their mouth.
And a two-edged sword.
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 In their hand.
In their hand.
To execute vengeance.
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 Upon the heathen.
Upon the heathen.
And punishment.
And punishment.
Upon the people.
Upon the people.
To bind their kings.
To bind their kings.
With chains.
With chains.
And their nobles.
And their nobles.
With fetters of iron.
With fetters of iron.
To execute judgment.
To execute judgment.
To execute upon them judgment.
To execute upon them judgment.
Written.
Written.
Dishonor.
Dishonor.
Have all His saints.
Have all His saints.
Praise ye.
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 The mighty Elohim.
The mighty Elohim.
Praise ye.
Praise ye.
Praise ye.
Praise ye.
Praise ye.
Praise ye.
The mighty Elohim.
The mighty Elohim.
Yahweh Waheh.
Yahweh Yahweh.
Yahweh Waheh.
Yahweh Yahweh.
Yahweh Waheh.
Yahweh Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
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 All praise to you, Father.
Hallelujah.
Repeat after me. After I say the prayer in the dream. Avinu.
Avinu.
Shabbat Shemaim.
Shabbat Shemaim.
Yikodesh.
Yikodesh.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Tabo.
Tabo.
Malkuteka.
Malkuteka.
Yeaseh.
Yeaseh.
Bezonka.
Bezonka.
Keashir.
Keashir.
Kebat Shemaim.
Kebat Shemaim.
Gambarit.
Gambarit.
Tailanu.
Tailanu.
Elekum.
Elekum.
Zakenu.
Zakenu.
Hayom.
Hayom.
Umakal.
Umakal.
Lenuet.
Lenuet.
Kovotenu.
Kovotenu.
Kemoshika.
Kemoshika.
Anaknu.
Anaknu.
Bakanu.
Bakanu.
Lekevenu.
Lekevenu.
Waatevenu.
Waatevenu.
Edeni Sion.
Edeni Sion.
Ela.
Ela.
Haselenu.
Haselenu.
Menara.
Menara.
Kishaka.
Kishaka.
Yamaku.
Yamaku.
Wakavora.
Wakavora.
Watefera.
Watefera.
Leomin.
Leomin.
Olamin.
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 Hallelujah.
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 Echad.
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 Echad. All praises to the mighty Elohim. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We have to leave Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Yahweh.
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 El Elyon.
El Elyon.
Zibaot.
Zibaot.
El Shaddai.
El Shaddai.
Hakadosh.
Hakadosh.
Israel.
Israel.
Ba'ashem.
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 Yahushua.
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 Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Our King.
Our King.
Our Redeemer.
Our Redeemer.
Our Master.
Our Master.
On this earth.
On this earth.
And the heavens.
And the heavens.
Rain down.
Rain down.
Upon us.
Upon us.
Your blessings.
Your blessings.
And your mercy.
And your mercy.
And your grace.
And your grace.
Right now.
Right now.
We cast out Satan.
We cast out Satan.
And his kingdom.
And his kingdom.
Out of our hearts.
Out of our hearts.
Out of our minds.
Out of our minds.
Out of our spirits.
Out of our spirit.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
We denounce.
We denounce.
We denounce.
We denounce.
Every covenant.
Every covenant.
That we have made.
That we have made.
With our mind.
With our mind.
With our mouth.
With our mouth.
With Hashatai.
With Hashatai.
And his kingdom.
And his kingdom.
And we renounce.
And we renounce.
And we renounce.
And we renounce.
The covenant.
The covenant.
The covenant.
The covenant.
And Yahweh.
And Yahweh.
That you made.
That you made.
With our forefathers.
With our forefathers.
Abraham. Yitzchak.
Yitzchak.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
For we are redeemed.
For we are redeemed.
For we are redeemed.
For we are redeemed.
By the blood.
By the blood.
Of Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Hamashiach.
Hamashiach.
Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Oh, Yah, we thank you once again for another Shabbat, for another day of rest, another day we get to cease.
Hallelujah.
And we get to be at shalom with you. You have sanctified and set apart this day to only a peculiar people, to a people who will honor you, and not only in truth, but in spirit. This day is not like any other, oh Yah. This is a day when you called man to cease from all his own works and his own labors and his own ambitions. And he comes to make sup with his creator. You said this is a sign between you and your people. And if it's a sign, then that means that it directs us and leads us into something that maybe even we don't understand. The depths, the width, or the height of why we do this thing. Okay. But the more we do it, somehow it seems to fasten us closer to you. And to become even more one with you. To become in sync with you. To become Echad with you. We thank you that by way of the sufferings of Hamashiach, we have been made reconciled unto you. In every way we have been at odds with you. Accepting him as our Pesach has made us whole with you. And it has turned your wrath away from us, O Yah.
Hallelujah.
Now we can hold our heads up and look to the Shemayim and look at you without wrath of doubting. We can hold up holy hands with boldness and conviction, knowing that once again you are the power that redeems Israel.
Hallelujah.
Thank you so much, Yah. Who is like you, O Yah? You are Yah and Yah alone. You are all powerful. You are all seen. You are all known. And yet you are meek and lowly. You have humbled yourself to your own word, O Yah. And now, O Yah, we ask you that any area where we fall short of your esteem, please, please magnify the darkness that resides and continues to preside in us. We break every allegiance with those things, Father. And we ask you, Father, purge us with hyssop. Wash us with fuller soap. From the inside out, O Yah. Let us no longer take on the form of godliness, denying the power thereof, but let us somehow, Yah, wake with your likeness.
Hallelujah. Cause
your face to shine upon us once more, Yah. Let us be your reflection in the earth once again, oh Yah. Let Israel be that light that cannot be hid under a bushel. But once again, pronounce us before the earth. Even as this place is getting darker and darker, somehow, some way, we are becoming brighter and brighter. Because the word and the covenant you have made with our fathers, you said you will come and visit us in these last days. And here you are, your word coming to pass. In you there is no shadow of turning. There is no variance in you. We see the sun is still yet in the sky. The moon is still carrying out its ordinances. So we know you have not broken covenant with us. The heathen has imagined a vain thing and thought somehow you have put us away for all eternity. And yet here we are rising, one soul at a time, one heart at a time, one mind at a time. Your word is true. Oh Yah, your Dabar is holy and is without fault.
Hallelujah.
It is us. It is us. It is us that lacks the integrity. But we have fixed our hearts here at Echadmalkut to serve you, not only in spirit, but in truth. We ask that you word the mouth of your teacher, your servant, Moreh ben MIKA'EL. We ask, oh Yah, that you word his mouth. Word is mine. Sit in the throne of his mind and his heart and take up residence in him. And let only that which you have permitted and ordained to come out of his mouth.
Hallelujah.
In the mighty name of Yeshua. We ask right now that every hearer of this word will not only become a hearer but a doer. That this word will send a spirit of conviction in them, and it will change their minds and their hearts to become more fixated on you, to become more centered around you. We thank you again, O Yah, as we begin to feed your sheep. Let it be done in sincerity and truth. And we ask that by way of your Ruach, that you, O Yah, will be seamlessly interwoven in this message. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach we pray. Amen, and it is so.
Yes, so.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom again, once again, family.
Shabbat shalom.
As we go into today's lesson, and for those watching who may be interested in joining us for Pesach, we do have the building. We do have the building locked down now, so all praise to the Most High for that. And anybody who's interested in joining us, just email us at echadmalkut.feastdays@gmail. Echadmalkut, that's EHKAD Malkut MALKUT.feastdays@gmail.com. And we will get back to you as soon as possible. We should be having the hotel recommendations, everything, but all praise to the Most High, we are sealed for a building, and we just can't wait as we come into this new season. As we has entered into the 12th month of this Hebraic year. So, what's the saying? Out with the old, in with the new.
Okay.
Right? And so this is the time that we actually should be working on purging ourselves with any leaven, spiritually and physically, within us. Right? Because we can't come to the table Hamashiach defiled, or even carrying anything of old. What was the parable? You can't put new wine in the old wine bottle, because what happened? It burst. It'll burst. And so you got to be clean so that the Mashiach can feel you in this new season that we're coming upon, especially in these last days. I mean, whether you believe it or not, Luke 21 is coming to pass. Rumors of war, famine in the land is coming. And all that gibberish we've been talking, all these scriptures we've been going through, it's about to really apply. We're going to see whose faith is really what they call it to be. Right? And so that's what today's lesson is about. It's called the test of your faith is upon you. Are you ready for the famine? Right? Are you ready for the famine? And so it just so happened that we was as I was actually putting our SHABBAT quiz together, I got to reread over Yosef and how that in the time before really the true end of Egypt, that famine was on the way. And through a vision, Yosef knew to prepare. He knew how to prepare the people. And so the funny thing is that same thing is actually going to happen to us, but it's called Jacob's trouble. And so we're in a season where we have to prepare. Believe it or not. Right? Because faith without works is dead. And so it's not about believing in these materialistic things that's going to save us. It's about believing that the Father has given us a blueprint to follow that shows us to prepare using these things. Because they even had to get all the food of the good of the land, so when it was the bad time of the land, they would have food to get. And so this is not more so talking on a materialistic level, which we will do a lesson on that, because I believe we should start preparing in some way or fashion. You know, I know some brothers feel like, oh, you know, your faith, blase, but I'm pretty sure that it's not just going to be your faith that stop your wife from getting shot when they come in your door. It's not going to be just your faith that saves you when they're trying to kidnap your children or your brethren. Right? It has to be work applied. See, we understand this book is a liberal book. It's about liberation. It's about protection. It's about guidance. And it's about provision. Provision. If you understand the understanding of provision and preparing, they all go hand in hand. Okay. They go hand in hand. And so all that talk about faith, it's going to get tested. It's going to get tested. Because he said prepare, right? He said also watch and pray. All things of preparation, provision. Right? They had to know when to go. They had to know and prepare when to go to the land of milk and honey, right? They had to know exactly when to blow the shofar on the 7th day on the walls of Jericho, right? So if the scriptures say, what has been shall be again, and remember the former days, why don't we think the same thing will apply? He even said, what? It's going to be a worse day than Noah. It's going to be like the days of Noah. So when you look at that, that was nothing but famine on the land. Will you be ready to pass the test of faith when there is famine upon us? So let's start with Hebrews 11 and 1. Hebrews 11 and 1.
Let me get a can when everybody there.
Hebrews 11 and 1.
Okay? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Now faith is the thing of substance, right? Hoped for. Uh-huh.
The evidence.
Uh-huh.
The evidence of things not seen.
The evidence of things not seen. Now why would we need a letter like this for Israel? Why would we need that? Because this evidence is the foundation of the earth. It was things unseen that established the things that were seen. Okay. Right? Just like when people talk about contracts and marriages. You didn't need an actual contract because it was your word that was the actual contract. And so it's the same thing when it comes to faith. You have to believe that Yah said he going to do what he said he going to do. And so he told us very simple. Keep the commandments and what? Live. Keep the commandments and live.
He's given us our protection and provision on how to escape the famine. On how to create that protection against the world. Right? How to create that protection against ourselves. Right? Faith is things, a substance of things unseen. What is substance?
Some material.
So how is something that we can't see substance? See, y'all are so profound. He made sure that you're going to have to dig in the depths of yourself to see what that was. It ain't going to just be written on the paper or in a book. You had to actually apply your mind into understanding his words. It's the difference between read and study, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of times when you study, you start to apply it to your life. When people read it, they just reading to feel good. Oh, this is a fantastic story about history and the great Israelites. But when you study, you're trying to figure out in your mind, through your thoughts, which you can't see, how do I establish something so great in the scene? Right? Because believe it or not, anything that transpires in your life, you already thought about it before it happened. Consciously or unconsciously, you've already manifested it in your mind. So we already doing this thing. Right? But somehow Israel has come to a point where everything has to be tangible. You had to see yourself be an herbalist before actually getting there. And then through the manifestation of your mind, you spoke it into existence before you got there. I am a herbalist. I am a herbalist. Then 5 years from now, everybody who thought you was crazy looking at, damn, how did you do that? I already saw it in my mind. And so, to parallel it, to make this thing make sense, it's the same when it comes to your salvation. Your protection. Can you see yourself actually being saved? And if you're still doubting and questioning, that means your faith is not where it should be. Or you just not really applying what you're talking about. Right? And so I'm going into the Hebrew word for faith. The Hebrew word for faith is amun. Right? Which comes from the root word aman, which means established trust. So how do we parallel that with Yah? Because we always say it at the end of a prayer, right? Our Father who art in heaven, blah, 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 amen. What you're saying by word which you cannot see is, what I'm saying is I'm manifesting what I want my creative power to change. And at the end I say amen because I believe it can come to pass. Y'all follow me?
Okay.
And so the very thing you've been praying for, and this ain't just talking about the natural famine of, natural tragedies happen, the hurricane. I'm talking about famine is just a tragedy, period. It's a trial. It's a tribulation. And so, in these times in your life, the test of your faith is going to come. And it's going to come even harder. All you've been talking about on social media, believe, I can do this, I can do that. The beautiful thing about Yah is he loves you so much, he wants to see if you actually can do it. You know why? Because Yah is a man of his word. And he's created a people to be a people of their word. And that's why people got to be careful about what they pray for. Oh, you prayed for a family? Oh, you prayed for provision. You prayed for a covenant that will protect you from the evil things. You prayed for a family that can correct you and show you what you need to work on. And then it comes to pass. And all of a sudden, this ain't what I wanted. I ain't really want it like this. You know why? Because a lot of us like fabrication. We like a fairy tale. Huh? We like a fairy tale. And that's the beautiful thing about Yah, because he's going to see if you're a man or a woman of your word. And it's just going to get hard. Every time you want to say something, it's going to manifest. And it's going to come into your life. And you're going to be like, man, I really came to pass. And I wasn't ready for it. See, this is the thing. If you're going to pray for it, that means you telling y'all you already ready for it.
Yes. Exactly.
Israel praying for salvation, that means you telling y'all you ready for the tribulation to see if you ready to get molded into gold to receive the kingdom. That's what you telling y'all when you say you ready for salvation. Because salvation comes only by those who are qualified for it. Salvation is not given, it is earned. Because we lost it. We lost it. And now we got to earn it back. And so the test of our faith is coming. And will you be ready for the famine in your life? And so we're going to go through these scriptures because I want to show y'all what true faith is. And how faith with works can deliver you from death. You understand?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you something. Who feel like their faith is so strong they can be delivered from death? I can proudly at this moment raise my hand. Let's be honest. Who feel like their faith is so great that they can be delivered from death? No, you can't think in this walk. You got to know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't raised your hand, nothing wrong with that. You just say what? We got some things to work on. It's okay to be revealed of your infirmities. Because that's actually what makes you better anyway. And that's the problem, Israel. We don't like to expose ourselves. See, it's different in the world. Exposing yourself in the world, or you doomed. It's over for you. You just done it. And the truth, you expose yourself, it actually makes you greater. And it actually gains you more aman, belief with the Father. How many times see us up here say, we'll tell y'all about, things you got to work on, and then we say, these are things I got to work on. These are things I failed at. That's us exposing ourselves, which now builds more aman between each other. Which now builds more aman with the Father and say, you know what? He has humbled himself to show himself. Therefore, I can give him what? More.
Right.
David was not ashamed when his son died. Because David knew he did wrong. And then once he died, what did he say? Oh, his fast is over. I paid my cost. And he went on. Because David's faith was so strong in Yah, he knew he would have him prevail at least at one point in his life. See, we think we got to put a time limit on when we got to go through things. Like, we really put a time limit on how much we can take. When we don't even have control over our own lives. See, people who feel like they got that type of control over their life is a fool. And they have fooled themselves into thinking that they are the author of their own life. When you can't even tell me, besides your father, how you got here. Some of us can't even confirm if we came on the ships or not. Let alone say how my life is supposed to be. And so the Father is so beautiful because he will give us that test that we actually looking for. You're a counselor, you're a prophet, you all these things, huh? Well, I'm going to show you how a person gets established as these things. They first must go through the storm themselves. Because you have to be able to tell somebody who may be in your shoes how to prevail from it.
Facts.
And if you have not went through it yourself, how can you then teach it? How can you then teach it? And so the Father said, oh, you can talk, we're going to see how strong your faith is in me. You talk about my word, but let's see if you're about my word. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's go to Hebrews 11:3. Hebrews 11:3.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed.
Did he say works?
Worlds.
So you had to first believe that this thing got formed. As it is written. Huh? Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by what? The word of Yah. For some people, even in this walk, that's unbelievable. Some of us still call them science. Think we were just blown up in a bunch of atoms and just came to life.
How was them atoms created?
And then the question is say, well, how was Yah created? How was he created? It don't matter. You just got to believe it happened. Believe it or not. See, we try to get so in depth into this wisdom or this knowledge per se that we don't even realize a small thing like Elder was speaking on. You woke up and was breathing.
Simple.
Very simple. It's very simple. You woke up breathing. You can't even tell me how you woke up breathing. So how you about to figure out how y'all got created? You can't tell me because you was unconscious for 8 to 10 hours. You can't tell me how you started out on your back sleeping and rolled over and woke up on your stomach. So we're gonna see if y'all, we're gonna question if y'all's real. Where's your faith? Huh? I mean, is prophecy not coming to pass in our face? How much more you got? I mean, what book on this earth besides the scriptures and the Holy Bible can add up to what's going on in this world? The Quran can't. The 7-day Adventist, the Buddha Bible can't. Not one book on science can't even do it. They trying to figure it out. And all science is just theories.
That's why it's multiple books. It's just multiple of them.
It's the reason this book is here. I mean, scripture say, "Oh yeah, when you come into the truth, this is who gonna hate you," and it starts to happen in your life as soon as you accept the truth. How much more you need? How much more faith you need to know that this book is real?
Facts.
Thy eye shall be evil towards thy brother, and it's happening. Another man shall sleep with your wife, and it's happening. What book lines up like that? I ain't even gotta go into depth with the curses. But even if it wasn't us, it's still happening. What book lines up that? So how much more do you need to see to have faith? Because everything, if you technically understand, is unseen.
Facts.
Nobody can explain how that river in North Africa turned into blood, literally. Nobody can explain how locusts hit the mosque. Nobody can explain that. How much more do we gotta see? But then, okay. Then y'all start, okay, so you ain't believe that, so let me start working in your life then. Let me touch you a little bit.
Right.
Let me touch you a little bit then. And you still sitting here asking God, why? Why is this happening to me? It's probably because ye are little of faith. So let's get to it. So it said, read that again.
Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Right. So go to Sirach 25 and 12. So this book, you understand, before Moses, there was no writings like that. This is all about word. What they would call it, oral tradition. This is things that we passed down by word of mouth, things that we did not see, but guess what? We had to believe. Why do you think Abraham got saved? Why do you think Abraham got delivered from that country? He had to believe. I mean, how many of us really, when it comes down to it, the Most High came to you and said, you got to leave everything. I need you to go to this country. Do as I say. If you do this, then this land is yours. And the crazy thing is, he didn't even see it in his life to see if it was his or not.
Big facts.
But he was so strong on his belief, he knew that if he ain't see it, his children will see it. Sirach 25 and 12.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 12. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of love. Of
Say
his
it one more
love.
time.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love.
So we know the fear of the Lord is what? Keeping the commandments. So we know by way of just that alone, when people sit here breaking it willfully, you just don't love the Most High like that. And that's okay, it's just the truth. But I love the Most High, He know my heart. But it said in 1 John 2 and 4 that you know your heart, and those who profess I love Him and not keep His commandments is what? A liar. So who you trying to fool, me or you? Who you trying to convince, me or yourself? We got to stop trying to fake being a Hebrew Israelite and be that. Believe it or not, being a Hebrew Israelite is all about action, not just word. Your word just backs up the action.
Facts.
Your word is actually the last thing people should look at. It should be your action. And when you start moving in that type of mindset with people, it'll be very easy for you to start dividing yourself from the wheat and the tares. Because wheat grows. It's very noticeable and it flourishes. Now tares may start to kind of look like it, but eventually it'll die out because it was never meant to be. You understand? And so that's the same eye scope or the single eye that the scriptures talk about that you have to start looking from. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but are you really shemaying? I mean, are you really hearkening and doing as the word says? Is that right, Don?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, done.
That was good. And so, read that again.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love.
Mm-hmm.
And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
Say it again.
And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
What does it mean to cleave?
Hold on.
Hang on tight. And let's be honest, when we in good standings in life, we don't be hanging on like that. We be like this, holding on to the shirt.
Right.
But when it's going through, Abba save me, please. So we know he ain't just talking about when you're in good standing. He said real faith was when you going through tribulation and you still cleave unto him. Okay? So let's see. Hebrews 11 and 4.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain.
So by faith, his faith in what he was offering, he was confident and believed in what he was offering was going to be appeasing to Yah.
Okay.
Come on.
By which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh.
Come on.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
So by Enoch's faith, however you want to take that, by Enoch's faith, he was translated that he skipped death.
Yeah.
He skipped death. These are the writings of your ancestors and what happened in them based upon their faith. Because we can go through plenty of scriptures to show you what happened to the unbelieving. Be greater than your teachers. Be greater than those before you. To know that you have purpose if you so choose to. I'm none. If you so choose to have faith and belief in that thing. Come on.
And it was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased God. But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
I don't care how much you keep the commandments. I don't care how much feast days you keeping. If you don't have faith in what's to come and what he's doing in your life, it don't mean a damn thing.
If I may add, saying, where's the confidence that Enoch had?
He had confidence in knowing that he was pleasing Yah to such a point that he didn't have to go through the doors of death in order to go into another dimension. He knew his relationship with Yah was that tight that the minute he heard that's what he was going to do, he says, I'm good. I know who I am. But let's be real. How many of us don't have that confidence? That if Yah says he's going to do something miraculous or something out of this world, because you find yourself wanting or waning from the walk and knowing that you're not pleasing to him, that you can't even really receive the promises that he has for you.
Okay.
You're not going to have the promise. You're not going to. And guess what that sends you to? That sends you into witchcraft. It sends you into witchcraft. And why do I say it sends you into witchcraft? Because what it'll do is seducing spirit to get on you and says you don't have to do all of that stuff to please God. Right? If you want to do it another way, you can go this route. You can begin to chant. You can begin to necromance and begin to play with familiar spirits.
Okay.
Because Yah requires sanctity. He requires to be set apart in order to please him.
Okay.
Right? But Enoch knew. He knew his dedication was that strong to the Father. He heard that spirit say, bro, come up here. Come on. He didn't sit back and say, don't I gotta die first? Nah, he was translated. What does that mean? He took off this fleshy garment and he didn't even have to go through the doors of death to get on the other side of the Shemayim, into the intangible, into the abstract world, which is before all of this. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, hallelujah.
Let's keep going. Read that 6 again.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe.
He said what?
He that cometh to God must believe.
It just said worse.
He that cometh.
You have to believe. You have to believe in the intangible. If you think everything's supposed to be all tangible and we taking it out of context, you have to consider yourself, because it says it way too many times in the scripture to believe in the intangible. If you don't feel comfortable in praying to a man that you have never met before by the name of Yahushua, but you believe in a man who sins just as much as you have to consider your ways. And really ask yourself, do you believe in the volume of the book?
Right. Now this is a trip. This is one of the things our old teacher used to tell us, right? He used to tell us, people go to work every week believing that their check is going to be in the mail or directly deposited the following week. Right. They're operating on faith. Yeah. You're working in advance for something you haven't even, it ain't no guarantee that you're going to have.
That's right. Because you technically supposed to be getting paid that day.
You really should be getting paid that day for that day's wage. Right. Facts. But you have the faith to believe, I'm going to work today and the rest of this week, and I'm going to have that money there. Because guess what would happen if you didn't have the faith? You surely wouldn't wake up and do it again the next day. Or the next day.
Okay.
Or the next day. But we will have faith in a man's system because we're so carnal minded and not understanding that there's principles at work.
Okay.
This whole monetary system is based on faith. Yeah. This money ain't real. There's no gold behind it. There ain't no gold behind it, nothing. Any day they could call that money in and you go there one day and you go to swipe your card and that thing ain't working no more. You'd be like, yo, hold on, I'm looking in the bank. Guess what? What I see, bro, it's saying that I got money here. That's electronically what it's saying is there. Right. You ain't got nothing in your hand, though.
Okay.
All of this is based on faith. You believe when you get in the airplane that there's going to be wind underneath those wings. But what happens when you hit that turbulence? And you hit an air pocket, and there's no air in that plane dips. Oh God!
Right.
Jesus!
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know? And this is the way the mind works.
And the killer thing is, you don't believe in intangible, yet you pray with words you don't see, hoping that it gets somewhere to a place you've never seen.
Okay?
So, is there really such thing with dealing with tangible without the intangible? Something had to manifest before it became tangible. Again, it's even with the mind. You think it, so a man thinketh, so is he.
So is he. Okay?
This is all dealing with physical and metaphysical things. And so when now your faith gets tested, the very thing you can't see with the very challenge you are seeing, then we're going to see if you really start to believe, like you said. Are you truly ready for the famine that comes?
Facts.
2nd Ezra 6-18. I'll finish that 7. Read verse 7.
By faith, Noah being warned of God of things not seen as yet,
Oh, okay.
moved with fear, prepared an ark to saving of his house.
So now we see a few things in here. We see by Noah's faith, right? He being warned of a thing he never seen. And it took him a long time to see it, by the way. He moved with fear as if the very thing was happening right now, which showed his what? His love for Yah. And by his preparation and belief in that preparation, what happened? Keep reading.
Says, prepare an ark to saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness,
Hold on. By what?
which is by faith.
He became an heir of righteousness by his faith. He did all the work, but it was his faith that saved him. That's why I say you can't bang on Christians too hard like that, because they got something right. Yeah. They got the intangible somewhere. They just ain't got the tangible. Right. Israel got the tangible. We just lacking the intangible, which is why we still in captivity.
Then when we get questioned on being spooky, then we got to explain. We trying to get deeply, trying to understand how a whale can swallow a man when we questioned about something. Then we trying to scientific, well, I don't really know if it was a whale. You know, I think, I don't believe everything ain't necessarily believable. You know what I mean? But you're supposed to be dealing with the all-powerful.
Okay.
You're supposed to be dealing with the creator of all creation. Right. You see?
And the thing is, if you talking about you just dealing with Torah, right? And the tangible, you have to now explain in Torah, well, how did the damn shofar blow a wall down?
Facts.
You have to tell me now, if this is so tangible, how did the shofar blow a stone wall down?
Facts.
How did them marching 7 times on the 7th day make this wall fall down? Let's go try it. If it was that tangible, let's go try it right now. And that would just tell you it had to be a belief thing for this to happen. This is why Israel actually had to stay in the wilderness, believe it or not, for so long, because they didn't believe, really. They didn't believe so bad that they made their own God.
We need to see something. Let's make a golden calf. You know what I'm saying? Because see, we could touch that thing. And gold is a good conductor, and we could, and the receptors and the energy and the bionoids, and you know what I mean? We'll start explaining all of that.
And that's faith.
But yet, we got 1,000 airwaves going across us right now, hitting these cell phones. Intangible. We'll talk about energy. You see what I'm saying? We'll talk about vibratory frequencies. But yet, Yah is moving. It said in his word and his spirit moved upon the face of the deep. And yet, his voice is moving and he's hitting the waters. And man, this thing is, you guys want to get scientific and deep and metaphysical. Ain't nothing more deeper than this word.
It's been metaphysical since Genesis.
Facts.
That's right.
But a person could say, I love you. And if they don't mean it, you're not going, man, that's bull crap. You don't love me. But if somebody says it, and they say it from their heart or from their spirit, somebody saying that can actually heal somebody.
A word of prayer.
A word of prayer. See what I mean? Can make connections and transcend the tangible by faith. He said faith is the evidence of things not seen, the substance of things hoped for. So when we're able to, that's currency we call currency of the kingdom. That means you pulling out of the abstract and you bringing it, you manifesting here on this planet. But of course, if you don't have you ain't in right standing with the Most High, then you know your prayers can become an abomination.
Facts.
You know.
Facts.
But if you had a faith, you know you're in good standing with your Creator and your Father. You can ask Him anything. You can ask Him for anything. Okay.
Okay. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 18. You ready? Yeah?
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 18. And the holy vessels of God, gold and silver, that
No, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 18.
oh,
2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 18.
I got you out.
Yeah, go ahead. I got the first.
And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Now, can we say that's going on right now? Facts. The Father is in the earth and He's literally separating the wheat from each other. Oh, I said, we ain't got to do nothing.
Right.
He's moving people out the way. He's separating the wheat from the, and He's visiting the people upon the earth. Come on.
And will begin to make inquisition of them.
What does that mean? He's going to try your faith. He's going to try you now. He's going to see if you, everything you was praying up in the heavens about, He's going to come on earth now and visit you. And see. He's going to see if you about that. Come on.
What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
Come on.
And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices.
Oh man, this is the word of the book. This is the vision. Exorcist had. He's saying those of a year old shall be speaking. Come on.
The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old.
Ooh-wee.
And they shall live and be raised up.
Ooh-wee.
And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
So all those things we thought was tangible and thriving shall be unturned. I mean, it should be unsown. Come on.
The 4 storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
So what he's saying is all those things that we believed in the tangible gonna be wiped away.
Okay.
It's not gonna be here. Then what? Everything you believed in, you using your hands and creating all these things, you thought that was gonna save you. He's gonna wipe that away. We're gonna see. Come on.
And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly afraid.
Or you gonna have an ear to hear and understand what sound.
Suddenly
it is.
afraid. Sleep.
Come on.
At that time shall friends fight one against another, like enemies.
Wee.
And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all those that I have told thee shall escape.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape.
Did he not tell us this? Is this not a prophecy?
Definitely is.
It was a prophecy that these things were going to come past. He said those who have kept them And those who will remain of the things that he intangibly told us shall escape. Is it dealing with setting up bunkers and all that other stuff? Which is good, by the way. But is that talking about that? That's talking about you having the faith that what he said aforetime, 2,000 plus years before you even thought of, that you still believe to this day that was going to come to pass. Come on.
And see my salvation of your world.
Of your world, because now you're going to get introduced to his.
Okay.
All the things that you was believing in and thought was real, for those who understood the intangible, even in the time of tangibility, he's going to take you from this tangible and corrupted world and show you his world. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
And the men that are received shall see it,
Ooh-wee.
who have not tasted death from their birth. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out.
I can attest to that. I tell y'all the story all the time. Almost 2 years ago. It was the faith of myself and those around me that saved me. Believe it or not. And only those who were there can witness to that. It is your faith that delivers you from death, and through your faith you receive salvation. That don't mean you don't work. You still work, but you work with the faith that what you're doing now shall be the treasure stored in heaven to deliver you from this death. Okay? Hebrews 11 and 8.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into
Speak more powerful. Come on, start over.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should arrive after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went.
Where was the tangible for Abraham? How did he know it was actually a land full of milk and honey available for him? Huh? How did he know that this was actually going to be inherited to his children? He just had to have faith in it. And he had to obey by deed and listen to the word. Come on.
By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, the word's cut off, dwelling in the tabernacle with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and a maker is God. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed.
Because what does the tangible people say? Oh, after a certain age, you can't have a child.
That's the age of flowering.
You can't have a child after the age of 50. You won't be able to reproduce, man, after the age of 55. Huh? But they both were past their age of youth.
That's right.
And still had a baby. And was still flourishing to the point that Abraham got another wife.
And a whole nother nation.
But a whole other nation. So are we going to really listen to these people on earth who is just flesh like you? Or are we going to be a witness of the things that Yah has already shown us in the earth by way of his writing and by way of what's going on in the world? Do you believe that Sarah really had a baby at 99? Because I guarantee the first time you heard it, you're like, how did she do that? That's impossible. Obviously, she didn't think so.
It's encouraging.
Obviously, she didn't think so. Hannah didn't lose faith. And she can have more children than the first wife.
That's a fact.
So are we going to keep talking about this book, or are we going to live it? Are we going to keep talking about the Torah? Let's talk about the faith of the Torah. Huh? We talking about tribe. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the faith of it. Because you have to believe in the intangible for the tangible to happen. There's no way you can do one without the other. And so by way of this time period for us, we have to believe in the intangible King.
Hallelujah.
Because Israel, that's the reason Israel got a tangible king in the first place. Because you didn't believe in the king you already had. So I'm going to give you one that's made like you.
Facts.
And let's see if that king gives you what I gave you.
Facts. You sow of the flesh, you reap of the flesh. You want a carnal king, you'll get a carnal. He gonna treat you carnally.
And that's what Israel got. A king like the Gentiles. And that's what Israel wants today. We want a master, a Lord, in the tangible, like the Gentiles. Because we haven't had the faith since the beginning in our intangible king. And so now we're coming upon that same period. Okay. You are believing this intangible king that you have never seen before, that died for your sins and rose up in 3 days and ascended upon the heavens and sat on the right hand of the throne of the Father? You believe the man really died for you? That's the question. You really believe a man died for you? You call him a man that you've never seen before? You believe in a book of people that you've never seen before? You follow Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Have you ever seen them before? So what we really talking about? We talking about Torah, right? Can we truly identify that Moshe really wrote it? And the thing is,
Stop playing.
It goes back to faith. You gotta believe they did it. You gotta believe that they were there. Because nobody who calls himself an Israelite can truly 100% prove it. Let's be honest. So you have to have faith. You gotta believe. And he gives us signs, unfortunately, because that's what Israel do. You need a little bit, son. You gotta follow the cookie crumb.
We love signs and wonders.
We gotta follow the cookie crumb. So y'all say, you know what? I know y'all ignorant, so I'm gonna wink at it. So I'm gonna give you a little something, just so you know I ain't here.
Right.
And we still question it.
Yes.
We still question it. So we talking about the tangible, all that other stuff. But do you really believe? Because if you believe it or not, this book is nothing but belief and faith of the intangible. You can't tell me you got the power to do something without telling me where you got the power, what's the power source of your power. So right now, okay, we line you up with 20 police officers and 20 guns pointing to you. Can your power deliver you from that?
Okay.
If you that powerful, if the Creator has given you that much power on your own, can you deliver yourself from that? You can try, but will you succeed? Faith without works is dead. And believe it or not, we all are power sources that must come together to ignite the power within us to connect to the Creator. If you want to be telling, that's that real silver line they talk about, attached to the body. We are the body. And the silver line is your faith. That's the silver line. When we talk about the metaphysical and all these different bodies, we are the body with that silver cord that's attached to the Creator. That's the faith of it. You understand?
Okay.
So to think that everything is so tangible that you can manifest things yourself, by yourself, that just shows your lack of faith in Creator. And the Creator, he's going to test you to see if that's what it is. He's going to test you. So understand, faith without works is dead. You can't have one without the other. Okay? Let's go to 2 Corinthians. Do we read the whole thing? Oh, no. Go back to, what verse was you at?
I was at 8. I think.
Yeah, keep going.
By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in the tabernacles, with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead. So as many of the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the sea, shore innumerable.
Mm-hmm.
These all died in faith,
Mm-hmm.
not having received the promises. But
So, all these tangible people that we believe in Torah died on faith of the things that they really never got to see or really enjoy, but had the faith that if they didn't have it, who would receive it? The children. All these people died in faith. So to think that everything is such tangibility where we have these certain powers to manifest and not understand that we got to go to the source of these powers is foolery. It is foolery. Are you really ready for the famine? Because that's what comes with you lacking in faith, believe it or not. I mean, it's going to come regardless, but the Father makes it come harder to you. You either perish or he break you down good enough to understand you ain't going nowhere without believing in him. You can't do nothing without believing in him. Nothing. Come on. 13.
Yeah. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Hallelujah. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 13. You're going to read to verse 18.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 13. We having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written.
As what?
As it is written.
So what are we talking about? Torah. We talking about the instructions. Come on.
I believed, and therefore have I spoken.
Say it again.
I believe, and therefore have I spoken.
So that's why I say you better be careful. You saying you believe, you praying and saying Amen, and you speaking that to existence, you're going to get that.
Okay.
It's going to manifest. Yeah. And we're going to see if you're truly ready for what you're speaking on. You don't believe that you need a higher power? Okay, you will be tested on that. You want to be put in an environment where you're held accountable? Okay, you will be tested on that. And unfortunately, with our people, a lot of what we be praying about and speaking on, we really don't mean it. It just sounds good to say it. It just sounds good. We get in front of people and we want to make this big scene of how we pray and go into dramatics and all that other stuff just to be seen, but are we really feeling it? Hallelujahs and tears rolling down our eyes and all these things going on, but then when you by yourself, is that really being applied? And when you faced with a challenge, is it really being applied? Then you will see who really got faith and who really believes in Yah. Not by word, but by deed. By their actions. You understand?
Okay.
So you better be careful what you're praying about. Because believe it or not, and a lot of times it comes when you really ain't ready for it, or it came at a time when you let it go. And then he gives it to you. And then you sitting there asking, did I really want this? Why would I pray for this? Why would I pray for this? And then it happens. I did it before, like, man, damn, I really did pray. It came to pass. I guess I really wasn't ready for it. It's just the truth, because you got to look at yourself.
Right.
You got to judge yourself and say, man, what am I really talking about? When you look at the writings and you look at, am I really a Hebrew Israelite by work? Am I really a Hebrew Israelite by faith? And you're going to be the most honest with yourself. But you also a person who lie to yourself the most. Right? Let's keep going.
I believe, and therefore have I spoken. We also believe, and therefore speak.
Right, so when we got this thing of, oh, I got a different faith. I believe different than you. Well, the writer said we supposed to believe the same. So something wrong with me or something wrong with you. But we supposed to believe in the same. It said we having the same spirit of faith. So you think you believe stronger than me, and you could think you manifest more than me when we supposed to be manifesting together.
Facts.
That also is another thing when we talk about believing in Yah. Because he told us to believe together, not individually. To think individually is to think in a Eurocentric way. Believe it or not. To think individually is a Eurocentric thought. You can't do this by yourself. You will not do this by yourself. Nor will you get to the kingdom by yourself.
Maybe that's why it's called the household of faith.
Come on. Keep going up.
Knowing that he which raised up the Lord, Hamashiach shall raise up us, also by Hamashiach.
Also, now you got to believe in a man that you've never seen before. Because I believe that's the same thing Isaiah 53 say. Who died for your wound? Who took on them lashes for you? And who bared the sins on their shoulders? See, that's the beautiful thing. If you don't believe in the New Testament, you got to at least be able to show in the Old Testament these prophecies. You got to show me in Exodus 23, who was that angel that would come in the name of Yah and we had to hearken to? Who was that? Who was the us in Genesis chapter 1? Who was that? So now, you went from Genesis 1 to talk about an Elohim, which Elohim is multiple. It's actually El if you talk about the creator. But when you talk about Elohim, it's multiple. That's why it's important to understand Hebrew. So when he said, let us make man, who was that talking about? Now you got to believe in an intangible counsel that you've never seen. It's been intangible faith since the beginning. And so you're going to have to believe, when it comes to this famine, and you're going to have to believe in something greater than yourself or anything on this earth for anything to change in your life. And those who really don't believe, the Most High starts stripping you. One by one. Okay. Let's see if you get stronger now. You still don't? You still believe in this? Okay, I'm going to take that too. Oh, you still got that same thought. Boom, we just going to keep stripping you until you butt naked in the dark. And then, like most people, once you get to that point, then you turn to the intangible. Or all of a sudden you got faith in a man you've never seen before, huh? You better be careful what you say. Because y'all so beautiful, he'll test you. Come on.
Knowing that he raised up the Lord Hamashiach shall raise up us also by Hamashiach, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes.
Right.
That the abundant grace might throw the thanksgiving.
Start it over. I'll read it slow.
For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of God, for which cause we faint not, but through, though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day.
Right, the inward man is renewed day by day. Why? Because your faith, as you grow your faith, you actually start to renew yourself. I was just talking about this earlier, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to look like what you look like on the outward man. You're supposed to look like what you look like in the inside. So nobody can see your insides, can they? So it's the outer man who's a reflection of the intangible things inside of you. You understand? And so it's going to be the intangible faith that builds you up outwardly to show people the glory of Yah in you. Believe it or not. He used, see, you got to understand. What was that? John 1. Let me get that real quick. John. Let's start. We're going to read 1 through 3.
Chapter 1, 1 through 3.
Yeah.
That which was from the beginning.
Oh, we're going to do St. John.
Oh. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. The same was in the beginning with Elohim.
You talking about nothing but intangible things. Nothing but intangible. Come on.
All things were made by him.
An intangible man. Come on.
And without him was not anything made that was made.
Because the purpose of him making you is to use the tangible to glorify the intangible.
Say that was powerful. That touched me. That's some authority, man. Say that one more time.
I said the purpose of him making you was to use the tangible to glorify the intangible. Because through you, people's faith grow in Yah. The faith is not in you. It's not in man. But you are a vessel to use to grow man's faith in the intangible Yah. So to think that everything's supposed to be tangible, we got everything by the grasp of our hands by ourselves, you are a damn fool and you are misusing the book that was intangible before it was written.
And I just got something from all that you said right there. We think of the Academy Awards, right? When you think of a movie lot, you think of you don't think about all the people behind the scenes, the producer, the script writer, you know what I'm saying, the sound man, the grip, all of these different people playing their role in the background.
Okay.
Right? But in the front, we think of this Hollywood lot, like the old ancient Hollywood lots. They literally would have like cardboard cities or you know what I'm saying, like wood cities, and they're propped up with wood in the back, but you never see what's going on in the background. And the scriptures is likened to that. See, everything in this world that is made is everything that's understood in the spirit realm can be understood by what is made. Everything. If you study, if you have the spirit to study nature, science, whatever it is. So if we look at a Hollywood, and it's the surprise, it's called the script, right? Now we look at everything that's in Hollywood, but you don't think about the producer. You don't think about the executive producer. You don't think about, like I said, all of those people playing the role in the back. But in the Academy Awards, when it's time for that year to come around, everybody's acknowledged for that production. You see? And when he said the intangible is glorified by the tangible, a good movie is acknowledged by how well the actors in their role played their role. Okay? And so this is when we'll go into the lesson, the law of attraction, right? But when we see everybody playing their role, when Israel playing their role, guess who's getting the esteem? The producer, the scriptwriter. Who's the author and the finisher of our faith? Who's the author and the finisher of our faith?
Yeah.
HaMashiach. He said, I've done nothing unless I seen the Father do it. So he's writing the script. He wrote out our script already. Y'all's just sitting back producing. He's producing. And so when we're in our roles and doing what we're supposed to do, guess what? All of us get glorified in the end. Y'all don't want all of the credit. Y'all wants to be glorified through his creation, specifically through his people.
Okay. Hallelujah. So we get back to that 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Let's start at
Verse 16.
Yep.
For which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our like affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and external weight of glory.
Eternal.
eternal.
Mm-hmm.
While we look not at the things, not at the things which are seen.
Oh, okay. So we're not looking at the things which are seen. So I tell my family all the time, when somebody attacks you, don't look at the person. Look at the spirit of the person. Don't be offended by this person because they're just in a place where unfortunately they open the gate to be controlled by something that you cannot see. And so that's why Mashiach said there was different methods to deal with these type of spirits. It's not the person. We are all just vessels. And unfortunately, because some of us are not grounded, we open the gates for the unseen things to take control of the scene. Just like you said with the actors. Who did you see give them that role? They're controlled by who wrote that script. They have to do exactly what that person who controlled that role told them to do. That's the same thing with spirits or energy, however you want to look at it. They're
Demons.
Demons. They're controlled. They're controlled. We all are controlled by something. You're not really king. You're a higher being, being used by a spirit in that body. We're like, these bodies are like avatars. You ever seen the movie Avatar? It was controlled by a man thousands of miles away who was crippled at that. And somehow in this tangible body, his spirit was able not only to walk and control it, but to move as such as he wanted to move.
Wow, what happens when we actually have the mind of Hamashiach?
And so if you let Hamashiach intercede and sit on your throne, you then will have a single eye to see as he sees. Therefore, you know it's not the person, but it's the spirit in the person.
Do it. Church dance.
And so this is why you have to build your faith, because you have to be able to be protected. It said faith is what? Established trust. You got to trust in the intangible, believe it or not. Keep reading. We're going to see.
While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal.
Okay.
But the things which are not seen
Are
eternal.
eternal.
For
Are
we-
eternal. That's it. It's simple. It's simple. Is your faith really there? When tribulation happens, you going through things. When people attack you, they spew bad reports on you, speak ill of your name. Are you able to handle that in the spirit? Are you able to cast down these strongholds and these spirits in wicked high places? Or are you just looking at the flesh like, I'm going to beat this nigga up, man? This nigga finna, I want to beat this nigga up. No. That's the case. Hamashiach had a lot of niggas beat up. He got a lot. No. But he understood the world that we in. This is a fake world. This is not real reality. This is a matrix. So all these little gets and gadgets fighting, all that other stuff, right? Now the test came. And then, but what the thing was, he was running from it. Right? Neo started running from it. The very thing that he was supposed to be preparing for, and he was ready for. What did he say? I'm ready, Neo. I'm ready, Morpheus. I'm ready, Morpheus. Right? He then got to it and started to run because that was the method they told him to. But it took for him to go within himself and understand the greater purpose to say, I'm not running up them stairs no more. This is my test.
Yeah.
This is my test. And I'm going to stand here and take it. And so he fought, right? He stood in it. He stood grounded in that faith. Knowing that he had the power within himself from a greater being. And so he went through the tribulation, right? But then, what then happens? While he's in that tribulation, he had to die to himself.
Facts.
He had to die to himself. And then he was rebirthed to the point that he was able to cast out demons and bind them up. In the way of the movie. Because what did he do? He came back. He was able to move the energy, bring it back. and then he went and attacked a demon inwardly. Think about it. Smith, Agent Smith, he had to go into Agent Smith to bind him up and cast him out. He didn't deal with Smith in the outward, man. He went to the inside. He went to the spiritual realm with him and then cast him out. And this is the test we got to go through. Are we there yet to cast out demons? Are we there yet to deal with famine on such a great level like that? And if not, you got to prepare. Because each and every day, believe it or not, your test is your faith is tested.
And a lot of people don't realize Neo is an anagram for the one. That's why they kept saying, you're the one.
Mm-hmm.
You're the chosen.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until he came out of his immature state of being new, Neo meaning new,
Right.
or renewed,
Mm-hmm.
or new, or born again.
Yep.
He had to go, and that whole movie was scripture.
Okay.
It wasn't nothing. The sister who came up with that book tells you she got it out of scripture.
Right.
And so even Neo being an anagram for being the one or the chosen one, it specifically speaks to all of that was based in faith. Now they've been like the third or fourth matrix, they started deviating from the message and it's kind of conflated and mixed people up.
Mm-hmm.
But 1, 2, and 3 about Zion and all of that, that was basically speaking to the children of Israel.
Yep.
That's right.
And once Neo realized who he was, everybody began to actually gain power over what? The system, the machine.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he said, I'm not the one. I'm not the Savior.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's going to take all of us. And see, when we start thinking on that tip, is I'm not the leader.
Right.
I'm not the teacher. Yes,
And also just to add to that, when you look at his training, when you look at Morpheus, more like the John the Baptist of it. All his training was basically, don't think you can do it, believe you can do it.
Right.
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 He had to get to that point where he had to stop thinking and just start doing it. And that's what caused him to manipulate what the Matrix is.
Dang.
You know?
Dang. That's real. And the thing is, we have that same power in us. We just like to be bondage to our sin. We love our darkness. We love trying to intermingle dark and light, but it just don't work.
We'll say we're Israel, but what does Israel mean?
Mm-hmm.
Prince of the power.
One who prevailed.
One who prevailed. So the name alone, to say you're an Israelite, to say you're saying that you are one and you are synonymous with the power that you're in covenant with.
Mm.
And it's up to the job of the enemy to make you believe that everything in this world is so tangible because they control the tangible. Let's just be real. Everything they control, they're controlling the media, what we're being downloaded in our spirits, what we're being told daily, day in and day out, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not until we actually lay hold of this book and the spirit of the book, getting underneath the print and getting into the principles of the book, that we begin to actually see the potential that we have.
Okay.
Because that's what Hamashiach was there to do, was to restore us back to the spirit men that we were called to racially be.
Let's go to the book of Susanna. Let's get an example of faith.
Oh, yay.
Book of Susanna.
I like her. Yes, I love her. She's a good sister. Best. She really is.
You got your scripture? You got your scripture?
It's in the
You
apartment.
want me to read it?
Yeah. Or, I mean, busy.
You want to read it, Mika?
I don't have that.
Or okay, I'll read it. Read from the beginning.
You're loud and proud about your full money.
There dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Hilkiah.
Celsius.
Yeah, what you said. A very fair woman, and one that feared the Lord.
One that feared the Lord. Key point. Come on.
Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
So she was in a good upbringing, right? Come on.
Now Joachim was a great rich man and had a fair garden joining unto his house. And to him resorted the Jews, because he was more honorable than all the others. The same year were appointed 2 of the ancients of the people to be judges, such as the Lord spake of, that wickedness came from Babylon, from ancient judges who seemed to govern the people.
So now you see these people who's supposed to be Israel, but they govern the people mixing in Babylonian customs. Come on.
These kept much at Joachim's house, and all that had any suits-in-law came unto them. Now, when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk, and the 2 elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her. And they perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments.
So all they're supposed to be judging the people, and they're like, well, shoot, we ain't even gonna condemn ourselves about everything we supposed to be teaching the people. Huh? Come on.
And albeit they both were wounded with her love, yet durst not one show another his grief. For they were ashamed to declare their lust, that they desired to have to do with her. Yet they watched diligently from day to day to see her. And the one said to the other, let us now go home, for it is dinner time. So when they were gone out, they parted the one from the other, and turning back again, they came to the same place. And after that, they had asked one another the cause. They acknowledged their lust. Then appointed they a time both together, when they might find her alone. And it fell out, as they watched a fit time, she went in as before with 2 maids only. And she was desirous to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. And there was nobody there, save the 2 elders, that had hid themselves and watched her.
He's a pervert, man.
Pervert stalkers.
Perverts. Come on.
Then she said to her maids, bring me oil and washing balls, and shut the garden doors, that I may wash me. And they did as she bade them, and shut the garden doors, and went out themselves at privy doors to fetch the things that she commanded them. But they saw not the elders, because they were hid. Now, when the maids were gone forth, the 2 elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us, and lie with us.
Oh, these are tangible men who have this great power over the people, huh?
Right.
Supposed to be teaching the law of Moses. Supposed to be governing the people as it was written in Moses, right? In the time of Moses, on how judges should be, right? Judgment, renowned men. These are these type of men. The tangible men being trying to pervert the law and breaking one of the top commandments, right? Coveting another man's wife.
Let me say this. This is the deep part. Why did Hamashiach say, when a man looks on another man, why he is committed adultery? See, once you let that ball get to rolling, once you let it start running, guess what? It's once you accepted that thought and you begin to rationalize and you make covenant with that thought, the next thing that happens is you're going to commit the act. You're going to do it.
The manifestation of things.
The manifestation's coming. Because once your imaginings take over and you start getting in that thing, next thing you know, now here you got 2 perverts. First they had to identify, bro, are you tripping like I do you see what I did? Because you know they been playing it off. Like, bro, what do you think about Suzanne?
Right.
Oh, she cool, bro. That's old boy's wife, right? Yeah, you seeing her too, huh? Nah, I was just asking, bro. Then the next day came. All right, bro. Man, I had a dream about her last night. You too? You see what I'm saying? Then it starts manufacturing. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, here they go. They moving in the rape. They moving in to rape this woman.
You know, and that's the sad part. Like, at that time, neither one of them were in a righteous state to like rebuke one another.
Right.
No, exactly.
Right.
To stop that from happening.
Right. So one of the brothers could easily like, bruh, yeah, she's beautiful, but that's another man's wife.
Right.
And that just go back to people in this walk today. They want people who wants to comfort their darkness.
Right.
They want people who would tell them it's okay that you sin.
Right.
You know, we all sin and fall short of
Right.
the glory. Yeah.
Right.
Just man falls 7 times. You know the sins that make you
Hey,
feel
brother,
good.
that brother going off anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That brother, he must not be giving her enough time. You see what I'm saying?
You were already started. You might as well just go finish it.
Right.
You might as well go finish
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
That's the type, man. That's what we in. You already there.
Listen to our music, man. It's all
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't condemn people for listening. You just gotta be careful.
Yeah.
The intangible thoughts will manifest in reality. If you listen to something talking about beat a nigga up, you having a happy day. You go to the grocery store. You trying to figure out why you want to punch this nigga.
Right. But I mean, this is like a major stoplight. Bruh, she married.
Right.
There's nothing else to consider. There's nothing else to think about. And she's married to an honorable man. So therefore, she's an honorable woman. You see what I'm saying? So how could you even begin to, as a judge, even begin to let, and it's two people.
Right, it's two.
It's two. They going in. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, right. It's not, it's one thing if it was just one man going to lose. But it's two. Like, whoa. Go ahead, sis.
If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee, that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee. Then Susanna sighed, and said, I am straitened on every side, for if I do this thing, it is death unto me. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it, than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
Which she had never seen before. But because her faith was so strong in y'all, she said, I'd rather be in y'all hands than have to deal with my father. And some of it, because we fear man more than we fear Yah, we'll do what man would like us to do and conform to his ways, because that's what Israel's used to, is the tangible things, then fear Elohim.
You know how wicked you gotta be to come up with this story? You know what kind of nigga you gotta be? Now you would set up a woman. Like you would actually set up a woman to basically put her in a compromised position where you're going to convince her that, yo, give us what you got. Or we go, because we know our name is honorable and you're a woman and nobody's going to believe you. That's some wicked, that's wicked.
Right.
You got the Harvey Weinstein of the world.
Facts.
You know?
I mean, but I'm so powerful. We're powerful, so we're going to use our power and our influence, knowing that a bunch of these men have issues with women.
Facts.
That no matter what you say, we're going to use it against you. That's wicked. That's wicked. Go ahead.
Wait, where was that?
Oh,
with that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her. Then,
Cry loud and spare not.
Now, what was she doing? She was following what? She was following Torah.
Gang.
She cried out.
Gang.
That's the law. And this is why you sisters have to be just as studious in this scripture.
I just said that this morning, did I not?
You women have to be just as studious in this scripture.
That's right.
So you will know your rights. You are protected under Torah.
What I say? Build a case. Build it. Use this to build a case. This will hold any man accountable when you got the scriptures.
sure.
When brothers going off, because brothers do that, and they will use the scripture against you to try to make you feel bad.
Man.
We just became the beta males of Israel.
That's right.
And I'll take that. I'll stay in Hamashiach.
Hallelujah.
They ain't saying the righteous man I'm talking about the wicked man who abused their women, spit on their women, broke as hell, but want to use all their women for sources because he got the right. Pretty much pimping his women and gonna use the scripture as his validation. That's the type of man I'm talking about. I ain't talking about no righteous man, because every woman who's looking for that should submit in all things to a righteous man.
Hallelujah. We talking about to the hobo Hebrew sexual.
The over masculine femininity.
We're speaking to you. Get a job. It's a public service announcement. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass
We
a
ain't
job.
talking to the righteous.
Right.
We talking to you broken men
Right.
with manginas.
You know what I'm saying? Using the lion and the lioness thing. You know, when it's time for me, I'm going to come in when it's time to fight, but your stomach out here like this, bro.
Just see in the animal kingdom.
You're right, in the animal kingdom, the female lionesses do all the hunting. You know, you call me when somebody knocking at the door. Right.
The sad thing about that is like, even with this woman, like, her name is protected because she has an upstanding man.
Facts.
So when these men are not operating like that, they're not even protecting the image of their own women. The women can't brag about what type of man they have.
Right.
You know? What they do for a living.
Okay.
Now, if she was a thought Hebrew-ist, should have been like, bro, y'all got good names. I'm about to leave this nigga anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
She'll jump camp. You know what I mean?
Jump camp to camp.
Right, camp to camp. I've been waiting for y'all anyway. I know y'all niggas is looking at me.
They was treating me wrong. And
Right.
they was judging me too righteously.
Right.
Go ahead, do what y'all gotta do.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't usually do this.
Yeah, right. I don't usually do this. Don't tell
Skirt right up
nobody.
here. Skirt all the way up here.
Hair wrap falling to the
You know what I'm
side. Do what you gotta do, brother. Just don't say nothing.
Right. We know we got those too now.
Right. Exactly.
Hosanna.
Don't do it.
No. Not in the, hey, we don't dishonor the real mother, but you know. Y'all crazy. Rehab.
That's why y'all can't sit up there.
Rahab without peace. Oh man. Anyway,
You're too much. I mean, let's get back to the story.
He said you're too much.
all right. So we understand now. She getting set up, right? They trying to set her up. They trying to use their power to overthrow the righteous, and so in most cases, in this time of famine and trouble, the righteous have nowhere to turn but to what? Faith and prayer. That's it. Faith and prayer. So let's hop down to verse 34.
Then the two elders stood up in the midst of the people and laid their hands upon her head.
Hey, we gonna get something. Let me just I gotta touch her some way. Come on.
And she weeping looked up toward heaven.
She did what?
She weeping looked up toward heaven.
She looked towards the intangible. Come on.
For her heart trusted in the Lord. And the elders said, as we walked in the garden alone, this woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away. Then a young man who there was hid came unto her and lay with her. Then we that stood in the corner of the garden, seeing this wickedness, ran unto them. And when we saw them together, the man we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leaped out. But having taken...
So one man. Let's play this out. One man.
So we just happened to be in the bush. She was bathing.
Facts.
That's
This one man overtook us.
Right.
This is the story people tell when they want to run from righteousness.
Facts.
When they don't want to be exposed. These are the type of stories people tell.
This is the lies they tell.
So they can get feel good about themselves in front of the people, whether that be by way of social media, different hopping from camp to camp, congregation to congregation, assembly to assembly, whatever the case is. They start to fabricate a story so the people can feel bad for them or comfort them in their sin. And they'll tell it at an angle. Well, they'll somewhat tell the truth, but tell it at an angle where the attention is not on them, but the person.
Facts.
Oh, I went through this, and they're just so judgmental, and the nation of Israel was just so wicked and judgmental, filthy 11. And they so passionate with the story, people are like, oh, it's okay. We'll take you in. Right. And then the same thing happened over and over and over and over again.
Facts.
This is what goes on today.
Yes.
But guess what? Y'all are so perfect in the righteous that the righteous prevail.
Always.
So let's hear about our foremother.
But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and the judges of the people.
And that's the problem with Israel. We don't follow the script. A lot of us, because you know why? Because a lot of us got an emotion to attach to people.
Right.
They did that to you, girl? Damn, Mark, they really did that to you?
Forget the 2 or 3 witnesses.
Forget that. That's out the door.
Where's the other witnesses at?
Forget to ask them, did you talk to the person about your problem first?
Right.
Forget that. Damn, they really did that to you? I knew it. I knew they was wicked like that.
I knew something about that Susanna, bro.
I knew it. I just felt it in my bones.
She just is too holy.
But that's how people prey on you. That's how people prey on you. They're waiting for you to fall.
Right.
And this is why your faith must supersede those of anything else, because it's going to be your faith that saves you at the end of the day. It ain't going to be by word of a witness. It's going to be your faith at the end of the day that saves you from situations like this. Come on.
Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting Elohim, that knowest the secrets, and knowest all things before they be. Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die, whereas I never did such thing as these men have maliciously invented against me. And the Lord heard her voice. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Ruach HaKodesh of a young youth, whose name was Daniel, who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. Then all the people turned them toward him and said, What mean these words that thou hast spoken? So he, standing in the midst of them, said, Are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel?
Because that's what Israel's emotional people. We emotional. And so Daniel, a righteous man, had to rise up and say, you fool. How you about to put this person down? Or how you about to condemn this person of something they did when you haven't even examined them?
You ain't held court, no nothing.
Because in the Torah it says what? He that answers a thing without hearing the whole matter is a fool.
Right.
Is a fool. And we see that a lot in Israel. And not even Israel. Us as a community, period, we see it. Because we so emotional and judgmental towards each other because we still have self-hate. We still hate ourselves.
Man, let's just be real, man. We got some wicked niggas in Israel. We could talk about slavery, we could talk about whatever, but we see that when we're in our land and we were where we were, we have 2 wicked, lustful judges.
And that
same spirit is right here.
Same spirit. And so the righteous by faith have to rise up. That's why I tell y'all, somebody keep talking to y'all about somebody, but the first thing you better ask is to clear your name. Hey, did you talk to that person yet? Oh no, click. Oh, he ain't gotta tell me. Don't even tell me. You can come to me once you talk to that person, then I'll be a witness for it. But if you ain't talked to that person yet, ain't no point in you calling me because you going to have me fall to sin with you. Leviticus 5:1. He that heareth swearing, right? A foul thing and do not utter it, what happens? That person's sin falls upon him.
Yes.
So the first thing I need to ask, did you talk to that person yet? Huh? Oh no? Well, look here, bro. There's two things you can do. You hang up and you go call them and don't call me back. Or I just call the person up and then let's talk. And a lot of times you're going to see the true intent of the person. No, I don't want to talk to that nigga. I don't want to talk to that sister. No, I can't. I ain't got time. No. But then why you calling me about it then? What we talking for? If you ain't got time, why are we talking about it? You understand?
Right.
And so then you're like, you fools. How did y'all let these two dummies convince y'all without any proof that she is wicked? Come on. Let's keep reading.
49, right? Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. Wherefore all the people turned again in haste, and the elders said unto him, Come sit down among us, and show it us, seeing Elohim hath given thee the honor of an elder. Then said Daniel unto them, Put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them, and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light. For thou hast pronounced false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, and hast let the guilty go free. Outright, the Lord said, The innocent and righteous shall thou not slay. Now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under what tree sawest thou them companying together?
And so, what is Daniel doing? He wasn't in that place, was he? But he obviously had a discernment to say something is not adding up to the story. And if the door's closed, think about it. That's why you gotta really listen to people when they tell the stories. Because if the door's closed and you saw the handmaids come in, what tree did you go on? What tree was you in?
He was minding his own business in the bush.
You just happen to see her. and she was a baby.
I'm just over here, man. You know what I'm saying? I like the garden, ain't joking. I was admiring the garden.
I'm just watering his bushes. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Unknowingly, you know, I just love the brother so much. I just want the water in
Got
the
the
garden.
lilies all over there, man.
But you know what this is also saying though? It's also like there's one of the issues Israel has is a issue of persona. Which people who are, either they charismatic or whatever, we always want to take their word and not match it up against the word of Yah. And Israel just wanted to run with it.
Right.
So we quick to condemn and not examine.
Right.
Yeah.
We quick.
Right.
That's why you see so many scriptures before judgment. Examine yourself.
Yeah.
Examine yourself first. Because first of all, if you about to judge, are you in the same sin? Okay, if you're not, then have you taken the necessary step to look at it and examine this thing? Truth be told, a lot of Israel is in the same sin. Fornication and adultery. That's the majority of where Israel is, fornication and adultery. But we want to sit here and judge people so quick. Like you weren't just texting a brother wife the other day trying to comfort her. Because her husband got her going through things. And because you just have a heart for a woman that was like your mama, you just had to be there for her. That'd be the situations. Come on.
Who answered under a mastic tree. And Daniel said, Very well, thou hast lied against thine own head. For even now the angel of Elohim hath received the sentence of Elohim to cut thee in two. So he put him aside and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, O thou seed of Canaan, and not of Judah, beauty hath deceived thee, and lust have perverted thine heart. Thus have ye dealt with the daughters of Israel, and they for fear company with you. But the daughter of Judah would not abide your wickedness.
So, did you see what he said? He said, thus have ye dealt with the daughters of Israel, and they for fear company with you. That means, nigga, this ain't your first rodeo. Mm-hmm. Oh, this ain't your first. I know this ain't your first time doing this.
Wow.
This ain't your first time abusing women. This ain't your first time taking advantage of the women using the word of Yah. This ain't your first time.
But a real Judite woman?
But a real Judite, a real one. One like Deborah.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't doing that too.
She cried out.
Yeah.
She would not abide your wickedness.
A real one like Mother Sarah, my Sarah. Oh yeah, you ain't doing that with her. Yeah, I know that ain't what you talking about. Right? Come on.
Now therefore tell me, under what tree didst thou take them companying together? Who answered, under a home tree. Then said Daniel unto him, well, thou hast also lied against thine own head. For the angel of Elohim waited with the sword to cut thee in two,
And
that he may destroy you.
This is why you gotta examine the whole thing. Let's do this privately. Let me hear your side of the story. Okay. Let me hear yours. Okay. Oh yeah, both of y'all niggas lying. y'all so wicked. Y'all couldn't even get y'all stories together, man.
See, what happened was
This is why the police do it. Believe it or not.
That's
This is why the police do
examination.
it.
They was holding court.
This is why police do it. Oh, this is how you get these niggas? Okay. Let's get them individuals. Let's ask them the hard questions. Don't even flinch about it. Let's ask them hard questions. See, when you ask people hard and truthful conversation, no matter what they tell you, their spirit will bear witness against them. That's why you can't look at the person. You got to look at the spirit. Because by your faith and belief in Yah, He will expose all to you. Trust me when I say it. We are witnessing to it. Bro, there's so many things that we done said that really came to pass. We're like, man, it's really just happened for real? That quick. I mean, I think a situation happened when we said something, I'm like, yeah, we just go into the next day. Literally, the next day it happened. And the person was removed. You know why? Because when your faith is strong in Yah, He will not let the unrighteous touch the righteous. They can do everything outside, but as far as really coming in and infiltrating, He will not let it happen. He would not let it happen. Let's keep reading.
With that all the assembly cried out with a loud voice, and praised Elohim who saveth them that trust in Him. And they arose against the two elders, for Daniel had convicted them of false witness by their own mouth.
By their own mouth. Period. Let me tell y'all something. We're going to start right there. Let's go to Sirach 2 and 4. When you are in a righteous state of mind and in good standing with Yah, I promise you, you do not have to defend yourself.
Yes.
Most people who feel like they got to defend themselves is probably because they're guilty.
King.
When you of the righteous, you ain't got to speak a damn thing.
King.
You ain't got to say nothing. Your works and your faith show you who you are. And if it's told to somebody who's righteous, they gonna look at and they gonna really observe and weigh out the scales with this thing and say, nah, that don't sound like that, brother.
You know the irony about this particular passage of scripture is that they conjured up a young man supposedly raping this woman, and the Most High turned around and used a young man to condemn her. He literally brought in a witness. Their lie, He actually made a witness against them. They were going to use a young man to ensnare her, but Yah made sure He touched the young man to liberate her. That's Yah, man. You can't make this stuff up.
Okay. We'll go Sirach 2. So now let's really get to the nitty gritty of those who in righteous standing and how you just got to keep your faith no matter what you go through. Because the famine is coming. And it comes every day for each and every one of us somehow, some way, some shape. And you...
Where you at?
Sirach 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 4.
I got it.
Come on.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Did we not just see Susanna do this?
Okay.
Come on.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Average men.
Acceptable men.
Acceptable men. Acceptable women. So when you going through something, take it cheerfully because Yah is showing you, he just trying to prepare you for something greater. That's it. Sometimes we can't see it because it's get too hard for us, or we think it's too hard for us because we're not digging deep enough in our faith. But he said, I'm just trying to mold you up a little bit because what I actually have for you, you probably go through something far worse than what you're going through now. And he's so beautiful with it because he does it delicately. He don't put too much on you that you can't handle. But the point is, like I said 2 weeks ago, this walk don't get easier. You just get stronger. Right? So let's walk through Moses. Moses found out who he was. He then found out that the people who he loved really wasn't the ones for him. Because why? The scriptures say what? Who is my father, who is my mother? Those who keep my father's will. Right? And then he had to leave, purge himself, and go through that famine. Right? This is his personal walk. He had to go through that desert and famine to then be redeemed and put in a place of stability and growth and maturity, to then Yah then coming to him and saying, now I have to give you more to do. And so he had on his journey to get stronger each and every time. Each and every way he had to get stronger and stronger. Did it get easier for Moses? No, it didn't. How you go from living the life like a prince to begging on the very kingdom you came from? And some of us, we have to do this in this walk against our own. Yes. I ain't talking about actual family. I'm talking about those who claim they're Israel. Sometimes you got to leave that environment just to really see what it really was that was going on. Because he thinking it's like all glitter and gold, not realizing the very one he called his father was killing his people. And so sometimes, even when it comes to dealing with teachers or elders, sometimes you got to take a step back and look and say, is this really of Yah? And unfortunately, because I love you, I got to tell you the truth that this ain't right. And so it takes a level of faith to get there, and it takes a level of courage. But faith brings courage, believe it or not. It brings courage. And so we can't be scared to stand in righteousness because it's our righteousness and faith that what? Delivers us. So you can't do anything with fear. That's why I tell you what, in Mark, those who believe in their mind and profess with their mouth what they want, all their desires shall come to pass without what? Fear. Fear. You understand? It is your faith that will save you from the famine that you have to go through, or at least protect you while you're in it. It's your little bubble. Your faith is your bubble. And say, you know what, I'm going to go through it. It's cool. All right, I'm going to take that. Yep. I'm going to just wait till it's over. We're going to go through it. And then once you get through it, guess what? Now you become stronger for the next challenge. It's going to be worse than that because now usually what happened to you last time is a little bit, tiny bit within the next situation. But then it's like that because then you remember what you had to go through and what you had to endure last time, so then you'll learn from the lesson. You understand? That making sense to everybody?
Hallelujah.
All right, come on, let's keep reading. Verse 6.
Where we at again?
Verse
6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Adonai, wait for his mercy.
Wait for what?
His mercy.
Come on.
And go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear Adonai, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
There we go.
Ye that fear Adonai, hope for good.
Hope for good. Come on.
For everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generation of old and
tell you
see.
again. Look where? Look at the generations of old. He's telling you to look in the writing. And I'm going to show you those who have faith and was delivered. We try to make, honestly, we in our own mind, we really try to add on and take away from the word.
Okay.
I ain't just saying talking about, well, we take a scripture and just flip it how we want. I'm talking about literally in our mind. We try to make situations. What's the one situation most people say is, well, we're living in different times.
Right.
Does that mean your faith should be different?
No.
We're living in different times, Ark. It can't be the same like that anymore. Says who?
Right.
Man or the Father? Come on.
And see, did ever any trust in Adonai and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear? His fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For Adonai is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction.
So he's giving you what happens during your time. He needs you to become greater, so he got to put you through something. You just got to have the faith you can get through it.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Peter was good until he took his eye off Hamashiach. And once he took his eye, like I said, lest ye fall. What happened? Once he took his eye off Hamashiach and he was rattled by this little thunder storm, then he started to drown. And started to sink in the water. These stories are not fables. They're not fairy tales. They're here for your learning and understanding so you can be greater than those who have already came to pass.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Now let's see about the fearful heart people. Come on. Verse 12.
Woe be unto the faithful hearts, fearful hearts, and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways.
What does that mean? You trying to be lukewarm. You trying to dance with light and you trying to dance with darkness. You don't know which way you want to go, so now you want to hear me with this excuse. Well, you know, everybody's different. Everybody needs time. Huh? And for you to say something like that, you're identifying that you actually have a problem. And what you're saying within that subliminal message is, you're double-minded and you want to actually stay in your sin. You just want to leave your sin on your own timing. Oh, then you want to pull out the scripture talking about, judge as she be judged.
I can't stand that.
Sound like Tupac. Only God
And
can
what they got to do with anything? Let's read it in this whole context. That's just saying, if I'm in the same sin as you, if I'm going to judge you harshly, guess what? That same judge got to come to me. That's not saying if I'm in the righteous state and you wicked and I'm telling you you shouldn't do that.
Thank you.
If that's the case, y'all been wrong since the beginning when he kicked out Adam. See, we try to make it fit our agenda. When it's very clear. It's very clear. Trust in the Lord. That's it. Trust in the Most High. And anything you do, be great and glad for. You understand? It's that simple. Why we got to make it hard? And that's why I said David is the perfect example. I mean, because he committed one of the top sins. Man committed adultery. And still was saved. And guess what? His name was still great.
Caught a body too.
Caught a body. Many of them. And guess what? For one who committed one of the top sins, his name was greater than any of us. You know why? Because his faith in his heart in y'all. Y'all can't deny a contrite heart. It's simple. David gave y'all the tools in Psalms 51. When you're going through something, the only thing that's going to deliver you from that is your faith. When you're going through something great, the only thing that makes you even greater is your faith. Let's keep going.
Warning him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not.
Right, so now you want to take matters in your own hands. You don't want to believe the Most High. You faint-hearted.
Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Woo-wee.
And what will ye do when the Adonai shall visit you?
Did we not just go there in second Esdras? He's making inquisition on those who calling upon his name. Are you false flagging? Or are you true to this? Huh? Are you just saying smooth things? Or are these words really in your heart? Are you saying you believe in Mashiach, but not really applying it? Or are you walking in Mashiach? It's a difference. It's a difference. Come on.
They that fear the Adonai will not disobey his word.
Period.
And they that love him will keep his ways.
Hallelujah. Let's go to Sirach 39 and 19. We almost done, y'all. Sirach 39 and 19.
Sirach chapter 39 and 19. When I get there. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The works of all flesh are before him, and nothing can be hid from his eyes.
So what's the point of you trying to run from anybody? You ain't ready from the Most High. You might as well stay in it. You might as well get all up in there. There's no point. Come on.
He seeth from everlasting to everlasting,
Uh-huh.
and there is nothing wonderful before him. A man need not say, what is this? Wherefore is that? For he have made all things for their uses. His blessings covered the dry land as a river, and watered it as a flood. As he have turned the waters into saltiness, so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. Woo. So every time y'all taste sea salt water, know that the heathen gonna get the wrath. I hate when I lose my place.
24.
As his ways are plain unto the holy.
Well, it's clear. As his ways are plain unto the holy. So when you try to make this thing all technical and make it all fashionable, it's made plain. We don't got it. We ain't got to doll it up. We ain't got to do all that. It's simple.
Thank you.
Keep the commandments and live. Love Elohim with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love your brother as you love yourself. That's it. Stop trying to go all deep with me. Keep it simple. Solomon told you he went deeper than all of us. He said, out of all that, the simple thing is to keep the commandments. That's the whole duty. That's your only responsibility. Stop trying to go so deep. Come on.
So are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. For the good are good things created.
Oh, so now the people are judging me righteously. I can't handle it. Oh, I can't handle it. They're too judgmental. Huh? Oh, I don't like how they're keeping the Sabbath. Huh? But it's in the order of Yah. Oh, I can't deal with them because they call upon another name. So you gonna let a name confound you and talk against your brother or do wrong to your brother when you ain't got it down packed either? All right, let's go.
For the good things are good. For the good are good things created from the beginning. So evil things for the sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt. Flour of wheat, honey, milk, and blood. Of the grape, and oil, and clothing.
Simple.
All these.
This is all simple things. Things you need to cook, things that make you help you survive. That's all, and clothes. That's all man need. Right? Come on.
All these things are for good to the godly. So to the sinners they are turned into evil. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on some strokes. Sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Right.
Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
So you understand, you sit here lacking faith, you're not going. These are the things you're going to go through. That's your portion. When you think you can take things in your hand, this is your portion of wicked destruction. Come on.
They shall rejoice in his commandments, and they shall be ready upon earth. When need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Therefore, from the beginning, I was resolved, and thought upon these things, and have left them in writing.
Right.
All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season.
He will give every needful thing. But because we lost patience, we think we need it now.
Oh, I need a husband now. Oh, I need a wife now. Huh? Oh, I need children now. And then you put yourself in the situation, and now all of a sudden the person you got with is wicked, but you ain't. But why were you given to that wicked man?
Right.
Because a wicked woman is given unto a wicked man.
Right.
Ooh-wee.
Thanks.
Ooh-wee. Your house out of order. Wonder why. All right, it's probably because you probably shouldn't even be with that woman. Or it's probably because you ain't even in order with the Creator. Let alone you think you talk about submission.
Hello.
Who are you submitting to? Let's talk about it. This is uncomfortable talk that people don't like to talk about. You know why? Because people like to get comforted with their darkness. They don't want to hear ugly truth. But those who are holy is made plain. And they are ready upon this earth. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to go to the kingdom?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. So, hey, we're going to do everything plain that was made out plain and simple for us until we get it. And anything that come our way, hallelujah, bring it on. Give me the next one. Because that gets me closer to being closer to you, y'all. Because then I get to really taste the crucifixion of Hamashiach. And I'm speaking because that stuff I be working on. Cause I be wanting to snap on people sometime, bro. For real. I'm the type of person, you tell me something somebody said, let's go handle it right now.
Yep.
I'm calling them up right now. Let's get to it.
That is too true.
Let's get to it. Bro, because I can't stand that. But you know what? As I'm reading Hamashiach, it's just stuff you just got to take. It comes along with the job. You can't, I'm gonna be honest, you just can't fight every battle. It's too draining. It's too draining. At the end of the day, you trying to fight, they bring you down to their emotion. And now y'all both wrong. So I'm learning that myself.
You're doing good, huh?
You are.
You're doing an excellent job.
I go knock at your door. What you say, I heard you saying something. I'm gonna let you know who said it too. So we can all deal with it. Like, let's deal with it. Cause that's just where I come from. Like, that's how I was raised. Let's go head on with it. Let's get right to it. There's no point in running with it. Let's get right to it. We gotta fight, then let's go. You knocked me out. Hey, I'm happy. Y'all know what I mean.
You feel my passion.
But the point is, I'm working on it.
You're working
You're
on
doing a
it.
good job,
I'm
huh?
working on it.
We had a mild meltdown. Got a mild relapse.
You just been into
Back to regular tuna.
Hey, y'all tripping, man. Just passion.
Back to Torah.
Back to tuna.
Was it Deuteronomy 25? I need them lashes, bro.
Right. But so I can get all the smoke. I'll take the heat. I want all that work. What we doing?
Anyway, man, let's keep reading, bro. Verse 34.
So that a man cannot say this is worse than that.
Right.
For in time they shall be well approved. And therefore praise ye the Adonai with the whole heart and mouth.
Right.
And bless the name of Adonai.
Hallelujah. Let's end it with Romans 8:26. Romans 8:26. Y'all got me sweating.
No, bro, you were passionate.
Yeah, you were.
You had something to get off your chest. I'm asleep.
You thought you were about to break down?
Yeah.
Romans what?
Whoa, we had a
Romans 8:26, man.
You got
I'm positive when I wake up.
I'll be back.
Romans 8:26.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 26. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities.
Right.
For we know not what we should pray for, as we ought. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us
Okay, so
with groanings, Which
because we don't really know what's going on up there, do we? So we got to have the faith that the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, can intercede for us to give it to the Father, because the Ruach is the intercessor of Mashiach for us. And so we're praying to the intangible, not really knowing what the power of the intangible is, to be honest. We don't. Some people don't. And it takes a tangible thing to start believing even more in the intangible. Okay, you prevailed from death. Now you believe more in the intangible. Okay, you really got through this marriage and you prevailed through the problem you had in the beginning. You really start to believe in the intangible. Right? Most people say it's insane to think like that.
Right.
That's why they call Noah crazy. But guess what? His butt got on that boat, created himself, put his hands to the plow, and was saved, wasn't he?
Oh, thanks.
Come on.
But the Spirit make intercession for us with groanings, which cannot be uttered. He that searches the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit,
Right.
because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God.
Uh-huh.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God,
Right.
to them who are the called according to his purpose.
His purpose, not your own.
His purpose.
Uh-huh.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son.
Oh, so before you were a living being in the flesh, he predestinated you on this tangible earth to be the reflection of the living master you have never seen.
Okay.
How about that? Huh? How about that? It takes more than the tangible to pull from the intangible to manifest in the tangible. You got to believe in something greater than yourself that you've never seen. Most people say you got to dig deep within yourself, right? You got to find it. You got to find the God in you, right? And that's very true. But you also got to look out yourself and look at something greater than yourself. Nature shows the smile of Yah. It shows the beauty of Yah. It's his canvas. And if you can't explain really how did this natural tree get here, it's telling you by then. It's telling you by that alone that there has to be something greater than yourself that you've never seen. How does these trees grow in and out of season like that? Nobody's sitting there watering them. How are they growing like that? Who's causing it to rain? Something has to be explained about this, right? But it doesn't. It's your faith that knows that it has to be something greater than yourself that's causing all this to happen. Famine and all. Famine and all. How many in here that had something happen to them? You like, how did that just happen?
Yep.
We're a little full.
Huh? Whether that would be good or bad, you're like, how did I get myself in this situation? I wasn't even part of this.
Yes.
Obviously, it was predestined for you to be in that situation at that particular time. So somebody had to be the author of your life to get you there. I just told my daughter there ain't no such thing as free will.
Hallelujah.
There's no such thing. You either gonna serve one master or the other.
Okay.
And I'm talking about how the world likes to paint free will. Free will is I can do what I want, I can manifest what I want, I can do anything I want to do.
You're saying you only got a choice.
Left or right. Righteous or unrighteous. Holy or unholy. Just or unjust. There ain't no, I can go this way. No. You really don't. It may come in a different form, but it's still the same direction. Come on.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified.
Mm-hmm.
What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
Who can be against you? This is what your faith does for you. It protects you against all those who are trying to do you evil. All those who oppose you. If God be for you, who can really be against you? So why fight your own battle?
Right.
Because all that does is you just buy into that emotion. And now that actually takes you further away from your protection. Think about it. If a man comes right in front of the house with a gun, it says, come out because I'm about to come in and kill you. Would you go out? Or would you stay in your protection and say, yeah, come on through there.
Right.
Come on through. I got some, you don't even know what I got in here.
Right.
I don't even know what's going on right now. I got all types of joints going on right now.
Chill out.
Come on, you don't even know how many people in here.
He mean what he's saying right now.
Yeah. You don't even know what's going on. Because guess what? You step outside the house, you're more vulnerable. You may have some type of chance, but you're more vulnerable. Because you still got to open the door while he still got the gun pointed at you. Rather than, they can come against you, or they can try to come in, but if you got that steel protection, that armor Yah, can they really bust through it?
Nope.
Not at all. You said they flip?
Nah. So they gonna hurt their foot.
They hurt their foot.
Isn't there a scripture that says you gotta open the door to let? Isn't there a scripture that says you gotta open the door to allow things to come in? Something like that.
Let evil in?
You have to open the door. You have to accept it in, like something like.
Is it, you talking about the man outside?
I mean, I'm trying to use your metaphor. You know, we'll talk about it after. Oh wait, I thought there was a scripture that like.
She said, "Oh wait."
I have to find it.
I like that. We'll talk about that later.
Right.
Look, you read.
Not that.
He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all.
Read verse 31 again.
31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifies.
Right.
Who is he? Who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died, yea, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach?
Right.
Shall tribulation,
come on.
and distress,
Shall distress, come on.
or persecution,
Or persecution,
or famine,
or
nakedness,
or nakedness,
or peril,
or
sword?
or sword. Can any of these things separate you from the love of Mashiach?
No.
Huh?
No.
So that means it takes a belief system to establish what? That trust. That established trust. Huh?
Okay.
It takes a belief that no matter if you're going through tribulation, no matter if you're going through distress, no matter if you're going through persecution, famine, or nakedness, or about a sword, that you can be delivered in it when you stay in the love of Mashiach through your faith and belief and what has been put in earth for us. Who can go against you when Yah is for you? Yah, not man, Yah. When Yah is for you, who can go against you? Because a man is just a man. He can try to protect you, but he's still going to die. It is Yah who delivers you from death. And he uses the righteous, as we saw with Daniel, to help you prevail. Not you putting all your faith in man, because he may be, he looks like an image of Elohim. No. It's you looking at what Yah is doing, that he sends a witness to deliver you. You understand? Let's keep going.
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter.
So what is this really saying? It's saying what you're going through is just what Mashiach went through. You got to go through it. If you're saying you believe in Mashiach, you have to go through the same persecution, believe it or not. It may be in a different format. You may not be hung to a tree. But you still got to go through the persecution. That's what it's called, to drink of the cup of Mashiach. This ain't no easy life. This ain't no sweet and honey type of life. This is a bittersweet type thing. You gotta take it. You gotta take the thorns, right? Come on.
Nay, and all these things we are more than conquerors.
Read that again.
In all these things we are more than conquerors.
In all these things you are more than conquerors. What does that mean? We are called the prince or princess of power. You were here to learn how to prevail. You were here to prevail through all things. In Hamashiach, who strengthens you. You understand?
Okay.
This is how your faith must be. That no matter what, I'm going to sit here and take it, and I'm going to take it cheerfully with a smile on my face, and we're going to go to the next. That's the mindset that you got to have in this thing. Because if you're struggling with dealing with opinions people got to say about you, you ain't really ready to follow Mashiach like you think. If you're struggling with people's opinions, you ain't really ready for that persecution. Because he was getting that before they really started laying hands on him. So for y'all getting all emotional about what people say, imagine people really start persecuting you on that type of level. Are you going to lose your faith?
Let me say this. Mm-hmm. And if you're getting talked about because of your sin, you're not suffering in righteousness. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting clowned because you got caught doing something wrong or you got exposed, you're not suffering for righteousness' sake. You're getting clowned because you got exposed. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. I mean, that's maybe uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you just been sent out to Saint to get buffeted. And Saint don't mind talking about you after he done got you to fall. He like getting you out there butt naked. You know what I'm saying? You don't, bruh. But you know what Yah is so good. You know how long it takes him to really expose you? Before he just totally gets you out there, like kind of, push you out there, slide you across the floor to the center stage. And be like, have at it. You got to go through a lot. You got to really mess up.
Okay.
Right? Because the Most High is not, he loves people. He's not about just exposing people and putting them out there butt naked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's really about, he will cover you. Mm-hmm. And lots of times that's why there's phases and stages to how even those in Israel government is supposed to do things. You're supposed to protect the image of your brothers and your sisters. So all these exposing videos that quickly get out there the minute somebody do something wrong, you in there. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? If you just going for the attack, there's supposed to be you're supposed to be reasonable in this thing. Okay. So we got the Torah to show us how we're supposed to do things. And we've had opportunities to put charges out there on people on public display. Mm-hmm. But yet and still we refuse to, because why? Because we know the whole reputation of Israel is at stake. Okay. It's one thing we're in our own land. You know what I mean? But we just refuse to make an open reproach before the name of the Most High. Mm-hmm. Because we know that we already seen as a cult. We seen as all of these different kind of, we these strange people talking this crazy notion that we the children of Israel. But so for the sake of the brethren, we'll hold back. Just so names Yah isn't blasphemed among the heathen. But the reality is now, but when Yah's ready for you to get out there and start exposing your darkness and some of the things, because lots of times, a lot of things that you do when you have certain members, even some of the recent controversies that are happening in Israel, lots of times certain things got outed because the leadership was turning a blind eye to certain things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then it had to get out there. But for the most part, you know what I mean? There's no reason that Israel should just be out there openly outing each other. Facts. That's feminine, especially when men are doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you out there name dropping and all that, you know, we know Israel just got some behavior that we got to talk about. Okay. But then when you literally out there trying to, you know, what they call it, clout chase, you trying to build off another man's demise or whatever, nah, that ain't under rule. Okay?
So with that, we'll stop right there. You know, all praise to the Most High. And I hope this message was given to you in most definitely good manner. And understanding at the end of the day, above all these things that we're going through, above all these things that we got, the only thing you really got that you really can obtain tangibly is your faith.
Okay.
Is your faith. We got any questions? Any comment on the lesson? Let's talk.
I started off. So the lesson was great, and the lesson had spirit in it too, because the same thing we just had a conversation yesterday with
Sorry.
Break it down.
I'm sorry.
Right. We just had a conversation with you know, the chief elder yesterday about faith. I was talking to him about faith because he asked me, but this lesson made me think about when I rode my bike 400 miles. That was 70 miles a day that I rode, 70 plus miles a day. So it just made me think of the second day that I was riding my bike. I was about to give up. I literally laid my bike down. I laid down. I ain't had no food to eat. I was just laying down, like about to go to sleep. And a police officer came and woke me up. He was like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm cool." He was like, "Yeah, we got a couple cars that somebody was laying down, looked like they was dead." I was like, "No, I'm really just tired because I'm coming from riding my bike. You know what I'm saying? A couple miles." But he asked me, "Where was you going?" I was coming from Cleveland. I was going to Chicago. But really, I didn't know where I was going to. It was like, you know what I'm saying? I really had planned on going to Indiana. But I went to Chicago. But he had woke me up. He like, "You good? You okay?" I said, "Yeah, cool. I'm on my way to Wooty-Woot." He like, "Man, you got a long way to go." He's like, "You good?" It was a white police officer. So he just kept looking at me. He kept looking at me in the straight like, "Bro, you in this white neighborhood. You know how you can go around this like cities, like smaller cities?" He's like, "You looking at me like you in this white neighborhood. We never seen you before." You know what I'm saying? And he seen my bike and he was looking like, "We never seen you before." I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, "You hungry?" I had to let my pride go because at that time I didn't like white folks. You know what I'm saying? So it was a white person that woke me up, and you know what I'm saying, police officer at that. So I don't like police. So he like, "You hungry?" I said, "Yeah, but I'm vegan." You know what I'm saying? He was like, what can you eat?" I was like, "We can go to Subway." So we go to Subway. He bought me like 7 Subway sandwiches. Literally, I ain't have nothing to eat. You know what I'm saying?
You knew you was gonna need those 7 veggie sandwiches because you had no meat.
Look, check this out though. But look, it was one time though, cause look, all I wanted was one sub, and I was eating on the sub, and he was just talking to me. He was having a conversation like, "Yeah, we got folks out here, you know, they be coming out here doing things," and I was just making sure you was good. I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Kept asking me. He was like, "You sure you don't want no nothing else to eat?" I was like, "I'll take another sub." He bought me like 7 of them. He's like, "Let me get 7 subs." I'm like, "Dang, that's crazy." But that just says all that, cause I didn't even know the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know nothing about faith. It was just, and the day before that, I made an altar, quote unquote. It was an altar for my ancestors. I was into ancestry. And I just asked, you know what I'm saying, my ancestors for guidance. But really, I just look at it, I asked the Most High for guidance. You get what I'm saying? I asked the Most High for protection. And it just says it all, that having faith. And now that I'm in the truth, my faith is even stronger. Because I know who, you know what I'm saying, guide me now. I didn't know that at first. I thought I was about to die, literally. And now that I got that faith,
man. Yah winks at our ignorance, right? Because he predestinates us, right? So he understands who his children are. You know what I mean? So Yah takes care of us even when we're not in the knowledge of him, because he's there to lead us and guide us into all truth. So that's one heck of a testimony, man. There's a lot of things you can get out of that testimony, you know. I can think of the scripture, even when the man's ways please the Most High, will cause even his enemies to be at peace with him. Okay? So that's why it's important that we live in the Ruach, and we live under the spirit of understanding that Yah's in control of all of this. And even though we may have enemies or perceived enemies or whatever, at the end of the day, Yah's totally in control of everything that's happening in this world. And when if he wants to use whoever, you know what I'm saying, he could use them. And so, well, hallelujah, man. That's a heck of a testimony.
Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead. She ain't want to talk, but she gonna talk too. Go ahead.
Okay. I got quite a few things from this lesson. It's really touched on a lot. I just want to read something. In Psalms 14:1, it says, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." And one of the things I got from this lesson is, when we look at the world, we want to basically, and some of us is either new to this walk or been in the walk, like there's a quote unquote embarrassment or whatever, when it should be the other way around, because what we're doing is, if the Most High formed this earth and made everything in the fullness of it, it's the fool that doesn't believe. Like he's the foolish one, not the ones who believe. Like it's natural for us to believe, and it's unnatural for people to not believe. And that's what we're dealing with. When we talk about faith earlier, we were talking about how basically everything we do in life is because of faith. When we get up and go to work, when we go to sleep, when we just speak to our loved ones saying, "Hey, I'll see you on Monday," like all these things we're doing naturally is faith. But since we do it every day and we depend on it being there, these systems and the light's going to turn red and green, those things, when it comes to believing in the Most High, then that's where we want to struggle at, and basically, okay, well, that's where our faith is lagging, but everything else